We've got an Orange Empire Conference showdown between Golden West hosting Riverside alongside Nikki K. I am Brian Fenley. This Golden West team, Nikki, well documented their struggles. Have lost 8 out of their last 9 matches. The block has got to be up, particularly in this matchup, because this Tigers team in Riverside, good pin attackers, particularly in Vashti Elias Romero, leads her team with 2.92 kills per set.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. There's a lot of familiarity between these conference opponents. In fact, they just most recently faced off September 21st. Riverside took that match in 4 sets, and I was speaking to head coach Bill Lawler earlier, and he said that the whole approach, the key for the wrestlers to emerge victorious is to play conservative and play to their strengths, which is controlling what they can control.
One thing that the wrestlers can control is Nicole Powers is in there. The 6-footer had 10 blocks on this floor in a win against Santiago Canyon last week. So you have that, but you're going to have to find other pieces to really help this team and get them back in the win column.
That's right, Brian. And in fact, for the wrestlers, it all comes down to that confidence and maintaining the energy out there on the floor when you're missing your starting setter. And, you know, Jen Juarez, another middle blocker for this team, injured, possibly could be a key component in what they want to accomplish out there on the floor tonight.
So we are going to have all that for you right after this. First serve coming up here with Nikki K and Brian Fenley.
Can you give me the flag, please?
Good evening, welcome to Golden West College for tonight's volleyball match between the Riverside City College Tigers and your Golden West Wrestlers. Would all fans please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
Okay, then what you'll do next then is the introductions. Yeah, you'll do Isaiah. You'll do people on your side.
Now, here are the starters for both teams. First for Riverside City College, number 1, Madison Bode. Number 2, Natalie Escher. Number 6, Taylor Chow. Number 7, Taylor Gardner. Number 12, Vashti Elias Romero. Number 18, Julia Balancier. And number 34, Caleb McKinnon. And now, the starters for your Golden West Wrestlers. Number 6, Mia Love. Number 8, Holly Hennessy. Number 9, Madison Holy.
Golden West College taking on Riverside alongside Nikki Kay. I am Brian Fenley. What a matchup here in Orange Coast Conference. Nikki, I know you've had a chance to kind of dissect what are some of the big storylines for this Rustlers team coming into this match, and they're a little bit short-handed.
Yes, they're a little bit short-handed. The Rustlers most recently, last time they were in this gym, they got a win, and that was a huge boost of morale and confidence for this squad, which, you know, speaking to their starting setter, Mia, who has been inserted into that role after suffering a injury to this Sophia Peterson earlier about 3 weeks ago. She's really had to step up to the bill and carry a lot of the load and a lot of leadership for this squad. So the key for the Rustlers, what you want to see them accomplish out there on the court, is sustain that energy and keep it going even when plays may not go their way. When the ball doesn't bounce their way, how will these ladies rally?
It's a great point, Nikki. And we are about to get going here in Huntington Beach. Rustlers are 4-11 on the year. They have lost 8 out of their last 10 matches, coming off a 3-set takedown against Irvine Valley College, who, Nikki, a really outstanding team. They have won 41 matches in a row.
That's right. And right now you see Mia Lara, who I referenced earlier, setting up to the serve, which goes into the net. But, like, what you want to see after that, a play like that, is the girls go into the middle, give each other the reassurance, and pick right back up where they left off. And
here is Elias Romero, the aforementioned, forcing the overpass on the dig. They work it to the outside. That is a shot that is sent right back to the Rustlers. Back row set out of the middle back air for Botana, and she's able to knock it for a kill out of the back row.
Botana, a 5'10" freshman out of Anaheim, California. You know, she's definitely carried her own, and against Santiago Canyon, she had 4 kills and 5 errors, a service error. Stepping up right now to the serve.
Yeah, that was
Madison Holmes, the star of this squad.
And Holmes with the dig in the middle back, area 5. Swing from off the net in the cross court, and Elias Romero popping it up.
Holmes.
Swing from Childs. Back row set to Holmes again, and that one won't find the floor. And there was the block, Nikki, right up the middle, and you have to think that the Rustlers have to kind of get that going. They haven't had too much success in that department, though, lately.
You want to see this team build off that momentum right now. Now, talking to setter Mia Lara about, you know, Maddie, who is up to serve. Oh, look at the ace. Great service there by Maddie, who is, you know what, she walked into this gym. She walked in onto campus here at Golden West and had no plans to play volleyball. Bill Lawler gave her the tour, convinced her to play, and here she is. She realized after growing up in Long Beach playing volleyball that she didn't want to envision her collegiate experience without it. She'd miss it too much.
And that was Botana placing it nicely down the line and unable to be upped. The diving Vashti Elias Romero. 4-1 the home team. Last time they were on this floor, last Wednesday, they fell, and they dropped that first set 25-13. So the onus has been on getting out to faster starts. Strong swing, mishandled by Holmes.
That was a rare error on her part. Maddie is traditionally one of the team's leading defensive players as well. It's kind of funny. The entire tool set she brings to this squad in terms of what she can accomplish in the backcourt and her offense as well. She's one of the leading scorers for the Rustlers. Nice up there.
Good up by Holmes. Bump set. They will send a free ball. To Riverside. And the block was up again. A triple block in the middle.
Now I have to tell you, Jen Juarez, there was a moment of panic before this team took the court. She had her right hand bandaged after jamming her thumb in warm-ups. The bandage is off now, though, and it looks like her and Nicole will be able to provide a nice complimentary block up at the net.
That will be a lift call on the Tigers. So, again, they surrender a point to the home team. And it will be Miranda Lizama from the service line actually had 2 service errors on Friday against Irvine Valley.
Now, talking to Coach about Miranda, a freshman kind of called up to the starting libero spot. She's only started the last 2 games at libero, and he said she's done a nice job, but that's not an easy thing to do. What essentially happened to this squad once Sophia Peterson injured herself 3 weeks ago was, it's kind of next man up, next woman up philosophy for this entire roster.
Botana directing it down the line off the fingertips.
Great placement by her.
Yeah, Robin Collier unable to pop that up. So it will be 7 serving 3.
Holly Hennessy back to serve right now. If you ask most of her teammates, I would say they identify her as the biggest goofball on the squad. So she's got some personality with her, also a potent outside threat. So she provides a lot of the offense, maybe splitting about half of the kills when it comes to those going to the players after Maddie Holmes.
Double contact called, and after the long rally, the Tigers give up a point.
Hennessy, a graduate of Marina High School here in Huntington.
9 service aces for her on the season. They go middle attack to Kiara Oregon, the outside hitter out of Riverside, California, and she is able to put it away.
8-4 right now. The Wrestlers with the lead. Coach Lawler was telling me pregame, it's easy for any team once they're up 10 to put it away, but how can you rally when it's a close game?
Bump set right over
Nice
the net.
tip.
Botana just flips it down. Unblocked, uncontested for the kill.
She'll be stepping back to serve now. She had 5 aces on the season.
And she serves it right at Escher. Swing from the back.
Great up, free ball. See, that's a missed opportunity for the Wrestlers right there. If this team wants to capitalize on controlling what it can control, it starts with free balls.
Yeah, you have to capitalize on those opportunities because when they come, you just never know what the other team is going to do. And there's a nice block up the middle. Kayla McKinnon got the gist of it, number 34.
Maddie sending it back.
Outside set to Elias Romero. She is dug in the cross court by Lizama. Soft block into the area 5.
Oh.
Elias Romero pounding it down the line.
And you saw Holly Hennessy try and get a hand on that, but it was great placement by Romero.
Robin Collier from the service line.
Back set by Mia.
Powers dicing it through that double block of McKinnon, and Elias Romero able to find the seam.
So the Wrestlers are in a 6-2 set, and Mia, who is typically the team starting libero, stepping up as one of the setters. And Coach said that why her? Why will she be in this role, or why was her number called to set? It's because of her high IQ out there on the court. And basically, the unfortunate situation for the Wrestlers is that when you're missing your starting setter, that's like missing your quarterback, your point guard. So everything is a little bit off after that.
Speaking of setters, Taylor Gardner checking in from the service line is also a setter. Escher with the up, bump set going to Elias Romero, the touch shot.
Great read by Holmes.
Hitting out of the back row was Hennessy. Using the left hand and going with the angle shot.
And that's a freshman, Botana, making a read that you might not, she should have been a step up to be able to get the dig off that soft touch.
There was Botana with the first contact, and she will give it a go from beyond the 3-meter line. And there is Talani Childs registering the kill.
Great placement by her. If you're Holly, that's a hard ball to see when you've got your blockers at the net. And great vision by Riverside.
So Riverside has kind of put together a run here. They are within 1, 9 serving 10 with Natalie Escher, the sophomore.
That was a nice up. Oh.
Kayla McKinnon standing her ground in the middle.
The wrestlers' cover off their blocks it's got to be a half step quicker, closer.
So we are knotted up at 10, down the line to Holmes. Pipe attack, Botana. Escher, free ball to the Rustlers.
This is an opportunity to convert.
Outside to Holmes. And that shot astray, and she had that opportunity, Nikki, just could not capitalize.
A rare mistake by Holmes. She leads this team's offense, 5'9", outside hitter. She averages about 1.84 kills a set.
Holmes with the not so ideal first pass, and that put
Mia in a tough position to be able to bail her out there. But she hustled. She was there, and that's what Bill Lawler wants to see at the end of the day. Hustle on every play and giving the effort. In fact, he said that he really doesn't care about wins and losses as long as the effort is there. And I'm sure a lot of that philosophy stems when you're missing your starting setter.
Yeah, it's hard to get that continuity, and Holmes is able to muscle it into the block and down. Get the side, and Mia Lara will step back to the service line with her team down by 1.
Lara's actually had 14 aces on the season so far, but she also has 10 service errors.
Outside to Childs, off of Hennessy. Talani Childs, averaging 1.25 kills per set, the freshman opposite. Had 10 kills 2 matches ago, which is the most for her in a match all year. And that came in a performance against Pasadena.
The interesting thing about this matchup, you look at Bill Lawler, you look at Monica Hayes, trainer on Riverside, and these two coaches have a lot of familiarity with each other, not only as opposition in the Orange Empire Conference, but it's interesting to know before Hayes' trainer was at Riverside, she was the head coach head assistant coach at University of California, Riverside, and that all happened while Lawler was at Cal State LA. So he says he knows Hayes' trainer and her approach very well, and they actually share a lot of similarities in their philosophies with how they coach.
Indeed, and Childs read that approach from Botana on the prior sequence very well, able to come away with the block. They go to Botana down the line. Behind the head set from Laura to Hennessy, that is dug in area 5. Swing and a kill. Julia Balancier, the 5'9" sophomore. Natalie Escher, the sophomore libero, at the line. Botana slugs it down the line.
Nice.
That was very.
And that's going to give the wrestlers a little bit of the energy they need to hopefully win some rallies here. Stepping back, we've got our freshman libero.
Balancier gets dug in the back row by Holmes. She will swing away off the feed from Laura and deal it into the net.
Trying to do a little bit too much for the deep set there.
16-13.
But talking to Holmes before the game, one thing that struck me about her was just her calm, even-keeled personality.
Collier from the service line, and she deals an ace.
And that's an uncharacteristic couple of misplays there by Holmes.
That will, if you're Coach Lawler, I mean, you had an early lead in this first set. What does this team need to do to get back to feeling like they have a chance to win this opening set?
It may sound like coach speak, but this team needs to control what it can control. And right now you look at the two teams and you don't see Riverside really overpowering the wrestlers. In fact, Coach Lawler said that the key for his squad will be playing ultra conservative. So recognizing those plays, yes, maybe Riverside's offense is, able to put together a couple of kills, but once they do, don't let those get you down. Get back at it, have a nice serve receive, have a nice set, and don't try and do too much, which maybe is getting a little bit into this team's head right now. You saw a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes by Maddie in a row there. So that was a great timeout by him to press the reset button and keep this energy level alive.
Coming out of the timeout, it will be Robin Collier from the service line. Had 11 assists and 4 digs in that loss to Orange Coast last week. She goes right to Holmes. Middle set to Powers. Shreds it through a double block. Outside set to Kiera Oregon.
Powers has the potential to move on and be a serious recruit by colleges moving forward, but coaches were both talking about how she needs to continue to grow here at Golden West, but her size and her vision at the net are really valuable assets.
Botana airmailing it from off the net on the swing. Collier returns to the service line. Laura, high ball off the net to Botana. Elias Romero, the first contact, and Balancier off 1 foot sends it across. To the perimeter for Botana, joust at the net, going back to the Tiger side.
Brian, the one concern I have watching Riverside as opposed to the wrestlers is you look at the way Riverside moves as an entire unit, no matter where the ball is on the court. And then sometimes looking at Golden West, the wrestlers are a little bit on their heels there. So they want to be proactive and not intimidated by the opposing offense.
I think if you go back to what they did last week, this effort that they're showing on Golden West side, it looks much improved. They are extending rallies.
Communicating.
Yeah. Elias Romero, the free ball into the deep corner. Out of system,
Play
the Rustlers.
Safe.
Balance here trying to go tip, but Powers was there to defend it. Out of the back, Hennessy. Back row set to Elias Romero. Taking off from behind the 3-meter line. Wow, what power.
Botana and Nicole Powers on the block there. Just got a little bit off the edge.
Second timeout called for Bill Lawler in this first set.
2014 Riverside.
2 matches ago, this Rustlers team beat Santiago Canyon in 4
breaking
sets.
a 7-game losing streak. So that was definitely a boost of energy this team needed to carry on throughout the season. Head coach Bill Lawler, in his 11 years with this program, has never had a season where he finished under 500. So this is a learning experience all around.
Yeah, 13-13 last year, but in the past, all winning marks wherever he has coached.
Now in those huddles, Nicole Powers is a big voice on this team. Her teammates talked about her leadership and her experience out there, being a great meter for carrying the team when it does feel a little bit low. So hopefully in that timeout, she was talking about,
Yeah, it's double contact on Holmes. misplayed it. Serve by Balancier. Botana got her shot rebuked.
Nice block cover. Holmes out of the back.
Wow. Nice dig by Balancier. Childs cross court. Lizima was there.
Costly errors.
In how much, Nikki, can you attribute that ball handling mistake to these players came in this season and they weren't supposed to be the setter? I mean, you had Peterson out there and she's not able to go with an injury.
Yes, and in talking to Laura, you know, she told me a lot of her learning as a setter isn't just about the position, it's about the vision too. She has to have her peripheral vision and her awareness on at all times. And she discussed the position in a way that kind of made it seem like she had been handed a huge responsibility for this team. And it's no surprise that some of those mistakes will come along the way as growing pains.
Yeah, how about Nicole Powers? Didn't have to jump and still was able to slug it for a kill.
Now, in going back to Mia Lara playing the setter position, you know, she's really working on her decision making. So keep an eye on her throughout this match and her communication and her quickness in terms of getting the ball where she wants it to go.
Collier feeds it to Elias Romero, has to bump it over.
And Lara there knew she was feeding Holmes from the get-go.
Elias Romero trying to cut it. Hit it fat, out of bounds.
Maddie will be the recipient of the majority of sets on this squad, and it's kind of the approach this team has with personnel a little bit misaligned right now.
Serve from Jennifer Pham. Flails long, and it is set point for the Tigers, trailing, or rather up 24-16. Pham was the only player on the Rustlers to record an ace on Friday against Irvine Valley College. Here is Laura, feeds Powers, sets her feet, and wins against a 2-on-1 at the net.
This is the resilience you want to see from the Rustlers in times like this. Match point, or set point rather, for the Tigers. Are the I spoke too soon.
Powers needed to let off that one just a little bit. First set going to the Tigers.
Tigers taking set one. Once again, this will be another.
You just keep going. Okay. So, yeah, what kind of adjustments? I mean, what, Nikki, what are your impressions of kind of what you saw out there in the opening game?
Well, immediately looking at this team, they kept themselves within it all the way to the end. And the point I was getting at before the Tigers eventually took the set was that, you know, looking at Riverside on the brink of taking it, you didn't see the wrestlers immediately laid down. But what you hope this team can improve upon in set two in terms of Golden West is minimizing the errors, you know, not serving out of bound, making sure the free balls make their way over the net. You can't always control what the opposition is able to accomplish in terms of potent hitting, but in terms of keeping what you are able to handle out there, it comes down to simple things: communication, serve, receive, getting nice ups. It starts with a good pass.
Which a lot of times can be easier said than done, but, you know, especially for a team that doesn't really have their key passer or, you know, their quarterback, you would say, of their offense.
I think when you look at the opportunity ahead of Golden West moving forward, not just throughout this game, but throughout the entire season, is how do you handle adversity and how do you become stronger through it? Because missing your starting setter, and make no mistake, Sophia Peterson is a solid setter and a solid asset to this team. Coach Bill Lawler looked at me pre-game and basically said, she's good. She's good. So not only is that a bummer, but this is an opportunity for every woman on this squad to grow. And I heard it in Mia Lara's voice, the way she talked pregame. She wants to see this team carry itself with pride, no matter what the outcome is in this match.
And we want to see the subscribers to the Golden West YouTube channel grow. The way you can do this.
Speaking of growing.
Yeah, speaking of growing, the Golden West College Digital Media has their YouTube page, which is where you are able to watch these broadcasts. We encourage you, please, to subscribe to that channel. Tell your family and friends.
Share it.
View it. Not a lot of schools have this opportunity that we have to really put on a great broadcast, so professionally done. So get the word out about this. And again, there will be all sorts of sporting events that Golden West will cover, and you can watch them live just by going on YouTube and subscribing, so you get all the notifications.
Click away. Give us thumbs up. Comment below what you want to. Maybe you have little nuggets about this program and this team, or about some of the players on the roster that you would like to hear a little bit more about, and we will incorporate them into the broadcast as well. This is an incredible opportunity to watch a program as it makes its way through the season and seeks that identity of being able to overcome obstacles along the way.
Well, getting us going in set 2, that is Taylor Gardner from the service line, and she puts it down right in front of Botana for the ace.
An ace from Gardner. She grew up in Grand Terrace. 5'4" sophomore.
Let's serve, mishandled in the middle by Amanda Laura, the middle blocker, 5'11" freshman.
And that's one of the things the wrestlers can control, is the hustle, not being caught on their heel. Granted, Laura looked a little bit out of preparation there, but big. Nice read.
Yeah, there was the block up. Madison Bowe was up there, but it went off of her and wide. So here comes the serve from Madison Holmes out of Cerritos, California, the 5'9" outside hitter.
Nice up by Maddie. Oh. Once again, a lack of communication right there.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder if Amanda Laura is getting her game feels in right now. She grew up in Anaheim. She's played 7 matches this season.
Short serve to the aforementioned Laura. Here comes Botana going cross court, dug by Escher. Swing off the net from Balancier.
That was a good possession for Golden West.
Yeah, Elias Romero unable to keep that up down the line. Elias Romero, I beg your pardon.
Nicole Powers checking in. Freshman Miranda Lozama back to serve. Another player who's really stepped up as positions have kind of shifted for the squad.
Off a double balk, the swing from Galancier, and then Nicole Powers winning the tussle at the net, right up there in the middle against Madison Bowe, and Powers using her frame and just out-muscling her opponent.
You look at her performance against Santiago Canyon, and she had a really nice game. 6 kills, no errors, 29 swings, and 10 blocks. I mean, you got to feel good on the bus ride home from that one.
Oh, yeah, she was the star. Just an outstanding outing for her, and you know that they're going to keep feeding her. For serving 3, short serve to Hennessy. To the perimeter for Botana. Up against Childs and McKinnon at the net. Winning that 2-on-1.
And Brian, looking at the bench of the wrestlers right now, all the ladies are cheering on every possession. They're all standing up. They're engaged in every play, and that energy is something that this team needs moving forward. Nice up by Holmes out of the back.
Gardner will feed to Balancier. Balancier, I believe on the follow-through, touched the net.
All right, back to serve Holly Hennessy. Class clown, team goofball.
Gardner on 2, trying to dump it over right past Powers.
She went for the misdirection there, but it went a little bit against her. You could see kind of the unevenness with her hands as the ball rolled over one, and that's what caused our officials to call 2 hands on that one.
Balancier, not a clean first contact, and that leads to a mess of things on the Riverside side.
What I do enjoy about this Golden West squad is that they know how to start strong. I mean, they're leading 7-4 now. We saw them take an early lead in the first set.
Another strong serve.
It's about sustaining. Oh.
Gardner having some difficulties there in ball control and handling. Called for another double contact. Hennessy from beyond the line.
She had an ace against Santiago Canyon. She's had 9 aces so far this season.
What an arm swing from Balancier. Just uncorks it.
And that's a play that, you know, head coach Lawler will understand his team giving it their all, but sometimes the muscle and the firepower on the other side of the net is a little bit undeniable.
Here is the serve from Robin Collier. Outlet pass to Botana off of Balancier. She will get the swing. Powers cleans up the mess in the middle with the tap down.
Loved her resilience on that play, and you also love her emotion after dominating at the net like that. And you know what? The whole team rallied around it too. Everyone had that scream, and you know, I think that could really be an ignition, a starting fire point for this squad moving forward.
Jennifer Pham out there for the first time in this second game, serving to area 4. Escher feeding Balancier. Powers up there high with Laura to make the stop, and Powers, of course, got the gist of it. Had 10 blocks, as you mentioned, just a week ago in that 4-set win against Santiago Canyon.
And Brian, on back-to-back plays like that, you've got to wonder, is Powers kind of finding her rhythm and rhyme out there? Because those are 2 dominant plays.
Elias Romero's shot will be returned two-handed style by Holmes.
Lara's hustle to the ball has been great.
Oregon is dug. There is Hennessy. And she gets scooped up. Back to Balancier.
You like the contact those ladies found on the block. Just went a little bit. You want a little bit more direction.
Oh, on the swing.
On the block.
Oh, on the block, yeah. Serve from Balancier. Laura will play to Botana off the inside hands of McKinnon. And there is Oregon with the shot from off the net. Free ball sent to the Tigers. Tight set, Laura upping it. They play it to Botana, and she is dug. High ball to Elias Romero. Nice save by Botana, but Laura, the facilitator out there, couldn't keep the rally going.
She's hustling, and you got to give it to her because, like any second string quarterback, kind of thrust in, and you know, at a moment's notice, it's a lot to learn. And granted, she's not even a second string quarterback. You know, normally she's playing running back and is handed the reins to this offense. So it's a little bit of a learning curve.
All comes down to reps.
Oh, Nicole Powers.
What a smash down off the assist from Laura.
I mean, with a name like Nicole Powers, the sports puns go on and on.
Oh, you know she's heard it so many times. I was just waiting for you to say a couple.
I know,
was
right?
waiting. How long is it going to take? And
Well, it's a good thing she plays one of the most powerful positions in the sport, too, because, you know, you can't be meek with a name like that.
Botana
nice.
swatting it into the back row. Elias Romero, and now sent over
Nice
by
up
Oregon.
by Botana.
Amanda Laura got denied in the middle, up against a double block.
One thing that the wrestlers can work on moving forward can be their block coverage. You saw if that block, there weren't any bodies on the floor on the side of Golden West. And as a coach, you want to see 2-3 girls laying out for that ball.
Speaking of block coverage, who was guarding that area and defending the tip? No one right there.
Mm-hmm. It's a sign of aggressiveness and wanting every ball, and that's what Coach Lawler wants. And you know, those hustle plays like we just saw from Miranda Lozama, that should be every possession. Girls diving, rolling, laying it all out there for the chance to keep the play alive.
Botana first on the scene. Laura will set up Holmes. She got blocked back, and then Amanda
Nice
Laura.
up. Nice attempt at the salvage by Lozama there. She had the hustle. She got herself to the ball, attempted to keep the play alive off a very futile first touch, but she was there.
Laura on 2. And Elias Romero sending it over. Hennessy reacting, couldn't control it in bounds.
The Tigers have taken the lead, 12-11. Natalie Escher back to serve. Nice floater by,
the cable got in the way.
Yeah. Don't you just hate it?
Yeah, the top of the tape.
I'm trying to serve the ball. That's what I say whenever I play. Ball doesn't go over. Who put that net there?
Who put that net there? Why can't it be lower? Here is Laura looking to slap it across to the Tiger side. Outside to Elias Romero. She gets dug by Lizama.
Good up by
Botana
Lozama.
called back row attacker. She crossed the 3-meter line on her approach.
Now, talking to Coach Lawler about his opposing coach, Coach Hayes' trainer, he knows her style well, and, you know, sometimes it's about out-strategizing your opposition, but in cases like this, Lawler said that that's not his approach for tonight, because sometimes you do what you can with the talent you have.
Tight set from Gardner to Elias Romero. There was Botana first on the scene. Laura sets up Holmes, and she got red on the tip. Talani Childs putting an end to the rally. Botana retreating after it and couldn't get there in time.
Botana having a nice all-around game. I mean, she is everywhere out there. She's having some great ups, great touches.
Garner another strong serve, but shanked by Botana.
That's a hard read. How you take the pass or how you take the serve receive. Do you step a couple steps back? Now you see the shift where Lozama hides Botana. Give the team's libero the best chance to save that ball.
Hennessy up against Childs, and Bo at the net, tooling it off the block.
Now back to Maddie Holmes. Her parents come to all her games. She grew up about 15 minutes away from here, so it's not a long commute for mom and dad to come check out her volleyball action.
Gardner to Elias Romero. Edge of the block and out.
Holmes' parents were the ones who pushed her to give volleyball a shot when after high school. And the wrestlers are sure glad she did. 17-13 now the score.
Rustlers dropped that first set.
Last time these two teams played on September 21st.
Oh,
Riverside won in 4.
And an out of alignment call on the Rustlers gives a point to the Tigers. Botana up against the double block. They go at her again, and again she gets rejected. There was Childs and Bo up there shutting her down at the net.
You really saw Botana almost contort her body around that set. So, you know, Coach Lawler was not secret about expressing how missing your starting setter not only has a trickle-down effect on who's playing what position, but the quality of possessions that you're able to generate as well. Because with someone who's not used to setting, the sets get a little bit tougher for hitters to connect on and create those kills.
Absolutely. And it seems like for the second game in a row, the Rustlers, they kind of find themselves playing well and can't sustain it really until you get to the middle part of the set, and again they find themselves playing from behind.
It's, for this team, it's all about being proactive and keeping, we've used the word energy a lot, but when that energy is out there, what it has the effect on is not only in terms of your communication, but your movement, anticipating where the ball is going to go. And it looks like Golden West is really struggling in terms of playing on its heels right now, which is a fine balance because you want to be low, you want to be ready for the ball to come your way at any given moment, but you also have to be agile and move and be on the go. And it's clear in what Riverside is communicating and moving. You look at the team and how they're acting out there when the ball flies over the net. Everyone's shifting together, moving together. So hopefully Golden West can find some of that rhythm as well.
Laura had the awkward set and she still got it over, and then Childs
Holmes laying it
angles
out.
it with the slice shot.
Those can be very hard to read when your blockers are at the net. The vision isn't always there for where your opposing hitter, and sorry, that was Holly Hennessy laying it out there for the ball, but when you're in that position, it can be a hard read.
Hennessy setting up Holmes. Escher keeping it up. Marcela Rodriguez has checked in, number 8 for the Tigers.
Free ball over by Golden West. They
work the middle, and Bo with the errant swing.
And that's another opportunity for the bench to communicate with the ladies on the court. They see that ball going out, you let them know. So nobody puts a hand on it or, gets a touch that would otherwise result in a possession change.
Now, Childs going high seam there in area 1, and there was nobody in that vicinity to cover. Lauren Dunmore checking into the front row, averages .97 kills per set.
And that's a timeout by Golden West. Score now 22-14 Riverside. So you look at the body language of the girls, of these ladies in their huddle. Now, one thing I'm noticing right now is you look at Riverside, everyone's connected. Everyone's got their hands on each other's backs. You look at the body language over on the Rustler side, and it's not as cohesive. Everyone's still engaged. Lawler leading the huddle and the discussion. But that is a very interesting thing to note.
Yeah. It's a great observation. And it's kind of how you can't let, it's so cliche, but you can't let what's just happened affect what's going to happen currently or in the future.
Exactly. You have to compete. And the things Lawler knows this team can handle, serve, receive, serving, and passing.
Madison Bowe is in service.
That was a great up by Holly.
Powers taking something off of it. Gardner to up it. Rodriguez powers it long.
Anytime you can get a side out of a timeout, it's a great opportunity to continue that momentum on your next serve.
Here is Holly Hennessy.
The jump serve.
Garner dishes to Childs.
She hits it into the net.
Yeah, unable to clear the net. 22-16 Tigers.
Hennessy is a spark for this team, so it could be great that the ball's in her hands at the serve line. Kill, or ace.
Yeah, a rocket of a serve for the ace. They have to keep that going here.
It's interesting because she served to the same spot the last 2 times. I'm wondering, this time a little bit further back, but still targeting
Childs off the Botana
Elias
Powers
Romero.
block. Holmes with the strike. Elias Romero in coverage. Rodriguez going tip. And Botana was there to defend it. Back row set to Holmes. She is dug by Escher. Awkward set off the net, Rodriguez.
It's a powerful possession by Holmes.
Now, was that shot, did it go outside the antenna? Because
It looked, no.
No, that was in. Okay,
yeah,
so that
it
was
was
a
in.
point
It looked,
for the Tigers.
yes. And it looked like there was a little bit of confusion on the wrestler's side as to where the ball was and where it was coming from.
Botana swinging away, and it will be returned. 1 foot takeoff
Out.
by Rodriguez. She sprays it wide.
Yes, and the wrestlers keeping themselves in the game, subbing in for the serve. Is Jennifer Pham, another libero on the team, 5'2" out of Westminster High School.
Really quick serve there. Outside to Rodriguez. Hit the cable and dropped in front of Lizama for a Tiger point.
Lizama just not ready for the ball to come her way in that one. Now the Tigers are out for blood now.
Set point. Powers first on the scene. Laura dishes to Holmes.
2 touch.
2 touches. So the first 2 sets
Going to Riverside.
Yeah.
On that last, and that's the reflection of an inexperienced setter, just not quite having her feet set, which results in the double touch there on the set and ultimately costing a point. And Coach Lawler can't get too mad at that because he's got his starting libero leading the team as a setter right now. So it's not an ideal situation, but the one thing that he can rely on Lara for in these situations is that she's got the high IQ. It's just about having that muscle memory, those instant reactions about knowing where you need to be, where the ball's going off the pass. Sometimes when you're a little bit out of position in cases like this, you almost forget, like, oh, that's me. I got to get the second ball there. I'm not there for the pass. So it's almost a little bit of ball watching.
Speaking of watching, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel of what the Golden West College Digital Media is up to. Subscribe to Golden West College Digital Media channel on YouTube for all upcoming Golden West College athletics.
Subscribe,
it's a live screen. Yeah, live stream.
Like, comment, share.
Get the word out.
This is such a unique broadcast opportunity. And to be able to rewatch too. I mean, Brian, you just pulled up the game, the last home game, pregame, so you're able to reference, some of the plays that were notable in getting the wrestlers their first win after a 7-game losing streak.
Yeah, and of course, not only do they do volleyball, there will be other sports on that stream.
Now you look at the wrestlers huddle right now. And one thing that Coach Lawler said about their opposition tonight in Riverside is that team is scrappy. And that's what you want your team to respond with, is a grit, an ability to pull through when the ball isn't bouncing your way. So the wrestlers down 2 sets. Can they get a win here?
Yeah, they are trying to avoid getting swept. They got swept on Friday to Irvine Valley College. Their 2 wins in conference have come to Santiago Canyon, a team which got started just a couple years ago. And Santiago Canyon, a couple matches this year, they actually were in jeopardy of forfeiting. They didn't have enough players to field a team, and so they made some announcements on campus, and they were able to get some numbers out there.
A little pause. Lazama taking the first serve for the wrestlers. Now, interesting note, Jen Juarez, who, Brian, we talked about her hand being bandaged pregame. She hasn't played.
Yeah, she hasn't.
And she's one of the wrestlers. Oh, great placement there. Elias Romero, one of the potent scoring attacks. But back to Juarez on the wrestler side. She's one of this team's leading blockers and threats in the middle. So that could be something that's affecting their offense in a big way.
Up tempo, right to Bo. Credit the assist to Gardner. And the kill for the Riverside Tigers.
One of the things the ladies were cognizant of pregame was that when things get tough, the communication stops. And on a couple of the last plays where you see the ball hit the floor and no ladies are laying it out there too, you got to wonder, are they communicating?
How about that up in the back by
Maddie
Holmes?
Holmes getting a great hand on it, yep.
Outside of Rodriguez. I guess that was sent back.
Mm-hmm. Nice up by Holmes.
Almost by, Holmes Botana trying to up it on the third. Contact.
Bodies on the floor. That's what you like to see. It's showing a hustle and a will to keep the play alive.
Short serve. Powers. The overpass on the dig. Gardner sets up Bo.
Lazama keeping it alive. Botana with the free ball over.
Now Garner working it outside for Rodriguez. Touching it off the block. And that's Laura again with the infraction.
The Tigers have jumped out to a 4-0 lead here at Golden West. The wrestlers want a side out here.
A 4-0 run to begin for the Tigers. Botana reaches down to pick it up on the first contact. Sent over by Holmes.
Nice up by Lazama.
Off the smash down by Elias Romero. Down the line, Gardner. Escher lays out for it. And inside the antenna by Childs. And then she goes right up there. Did she hit the net? Is that a net violation on Childs?
I'm waiting for the officials. Oh, good. That's That's a huge sigh of relief for Golden West. Able to get the ball back on their side and hopefully create a little run here as Jennifer Pham subs in for the serve. She had her first ace of the year against Santiago Canyon.
Are you jinxing her now,
I
Nikki?
think I must have just iced her. My apologies.
So here comes Madison Bowe at the line. Had 6 kills against Citrus, had 6 against Cerritos. Laura, tight set, off the net.
Oh, and
Hennessy.
they got the touch. With Holly back to serve. Slowly chipping away at that hot start the Tigers were able to muster. Nice serve.
Gardner running to it on the second contact. Rodriguez couldn't get the angle on it to clear the net.
Hennessy's got some power on that one. And it put the whole Tigers serve receive a little bit out of order. That was an interesting shift by them with the ace.
And ace as Elias Romero stepped right in front of the libero and Escher to track down that first contact. Ends up being a shank.
Hennessy tallying a couple aces in this one. She's got 9 so far on the season. Substitution.
Pham will come in and Abigail Botana will head back to the bench. 1 point lead for the visitors in Riverside. 5-4 in conference. Rodriguez, change of speed, back row to Hennessy, and she will fire away. Dug by Gardner. Escher distributes it to Childs, and she gets dug in the cross court.
Holmes doing a little bit too much on that one. Pham had a nice up. You saw her flash her skill set as a libero. When Lozama's not playing libero, that's a load shared by Pham.
Robin Collier stepping back at the line. Serves to Lozama. Backside set to Powers.
Oh, almost got a roof.
Joust.
Wow.
Yeah, down. Dunk by Powers.
Powers has a great read on the finesse at the net needed. You know, she didn't have to put too much on that one to win the battle.
She's 6 feet, able to use her size to win a lot of balls at the net. Rodriguez off the net.
Holmes in great block coverage there.
Middle back attack for Hennessy. Oregon.
Miscommunication there by Golden West when you've got a couple of your players looking at where the ball lands and no one on the floor beside it. Shows a little bit of silence.
7-5 Tigers. And that serve a bit messed up.
And the wrestlers will take it though. Puts them within 1 as Mia Lara steps back. Been the total utility player. And that's all thanks to her high IQ. Great block.
Collier right to Dunmore.
If you're Coach Lawler and you're watching Holly Hennessy put one arm out for that, you're not a happy man. you want your chances of having a more accurate pass are 2 hands extended.
Laura feeds Botana. Escher keeping it up. Set goes to Elias Romero. and finding a soft spot in the defense. Nobody there. It was between Botana and Hennessy.
You saw both of those ladies each turn their bodies towards where the ball was going and almost expect the other one to go for it.
Robin Collier with the put away.
In talking to Maddie Holmes before the game, she identified that as a weakness for this wrestlers roster, is that the talking sometimes leads to balls hitting the floor.
Escher, the second contact. Elias Romero getting it across. Botana striking it through the block. Soft block going to the Tigers. Quick touch in the middle by Bo. Set into the backcourt for Hennessy. Elias Romero has her shot, and it can't find the floor.
I've been really impressed with Elias Romero and her ability to get to any set.
Bo got stuffed by Botana. Solo style.
Solo block. Now Botana has had a pretty impressive season at the net. She averages about 1.18 kills every set, coming off of the loss at Santiago Canyon. She had 4 kills.
Elias Romero waves it right down the line.
She has great placement.
Garner on the approach. Lizima tracks it down. Holmes hit the top of the tape. It will be returned in the middle for Bo. She gets dug. Amanda Laura sending a free ball to the Tigers. Elias Romero had her shot sent backwards. Talani Childs going right at Madison Holmes, and Holmes.
That is a tough ball to dig. It was right at the shoulders for Holmes. She tried to get a backcourt set off of it.
Bumped over. Garner behind the head to Childs. How about the high velocity arm swing?
Lara was there just a little bit out of position. And that could be in anticipation of her hustling to get ready for the second touch. But the ball came her way a little bit too soon.
Laura will feed it to Hennessy, and Bo was up there, and up at the net next to her was Childs to make the stop.
The Tigers pulling ahead. And you're hoping the wrestlers can find a little rally in them here.
Laura, the second contact, will set up Holmes. And that shot fanning wide.
Uncharacteristic hitting by Holmes this match. We haven't seen her connect in a way that puts the Tigers' defense on its heels. You know what we should take this opportunity to do? We should take this opportunity to remind our viewers to like and subscribe to the video you are currently watching. Because you know what? When you like and subscribe and comment, it gives us an opportunity to continue to share. So please get the word out. The channel, Golden West College Digital Media. We're on YouTube. Tell all your friends, all your family about it. And share with us what you enjoy about the broadcast.
Well, we got a question from a viewer. Why is the ball changed after each score?
Sometimes balls get a little sweaty, get a little bit of, because yes, ladies do sweat, believe it or not. But what you might not be able to see in the scape, actually, we don't sweat, we glisten.
Yes, I love it.
What you can't see necessarily in the scope of the camera is someone toweling down balls. There is a cart full of balls on respective corners, and there are ball girls, ball boys at games who go retrieve the errant ones and feed them in with a fresh one. So sometimes it's not always a brand new ball, or a new ball, I should say, but they like to change them out. So, you know, the sweat from arms doesn't necessarily impact the flight or the touches ladies get. Love the questions, though. Keep them coming.
Childs off the ricochet. And we got to give a shout out to Warren Carter. Done such a great job facilitating all this and making all this possible for viewers, family, and friends to take in this action live here at Golden West.
Incredible production.
Laura, the high ball to...
Great read by Hennessy through the block.
Hennessy. Block was up with Powers up high. Rodriguez putting it down. Lizama trying to one-hand it up, but just not right there.
A little bit on her heels with that one.
Serve goes to Hennessy. Laura.
Free ball.
Messed up that connection with Holmes, so free ball, going to the Tigers.
Oh, that was
there is a kill for Childs.
One of the wrestlers got a little touch on that one. It also looked like the ball might have been right on the line.
Holmes, Laura refeeds Holmes and has to two-hand it over. Then Gardner two-hands it over. Set to Hennessy up against Bowe and Childs at the net.
Great connection by Hennessy on that one. You're hoping if you can't angle it around the block, you can at least play it off of a little bit of a disconnect and maybe cause a little bit of chaos with the ricochet. Jennifer Pham back to serve. Little floating jump serve.
To the perimeter for Childs. Her smash down will be dug. Powers gets her shot scooped up. Middle to Bowe. Change of pace. Pham was there for the read. Back row look for Holmes. Gardner with the set to Rodriguez. Just flutters long. Oh, it was a touch warranted.
And there's a little bit of confusion on the wrestler's side as the ladies look at the official saying, who touched it? Because I don't think they believe they did. Nicole Powers has.
Yeah, I didn't see a touch. I don't know about you.
I didn't either. I thought the ball was in as opposed to being out, but apparently the official saw some contact.
Serve from Bowe.
High arcing serve.
Quick attack to Powers. Gardner there to defend it. Bowe will swing away. Madison Holmes. Great placement, tucking it inside of the line.
One of the things Mia Lara was telling me that made her job easier as she's getting all caught up on the setting guide was having a player like Madison Holmes as your go-to hitter. She said Holmes is so versatile and, kind of takes away some of the worry and fear that a set might not be good enough because Holmes does her best to get there and does a really solid job of turning a bad set into a great hit. Surprised that didn't get called for 2 touches there by Lozama. The Tigers eyeing a sweep now here in set 3 as the ball is sent into the net.
Amanda Laura will come in. And so will Linda Laura, number 1. First time we have seen her tonight. And she will pace back to the service line. Go right at Rodriguez. They set up Rodriguez. Cut shot.
Great block.
Blocked back by Laura up there. And then Rodriguez says, I'll try it again, and this time with a better result.
The Tigers' attack is not ideal for the wrestlers in order to gain some rhythm with, because on top of working on controlling what they can control when you're facing an opponent with an offense like you mentioned, Brian, pregame it's hard to have that confidence that's already got a little bit of a shaky foundation to begin with. Wow.
Outlet pass to Holmes, and she buries it.
That's some of the Maddie we know.
Yes. Pham out and Botana in.
Mia Lara back to serve. Now look how far back she is for her jump serve.
Elias Romero.
That's an ace. She'll take it.
Yeah, can't control it, and there is an ace. (13 serving 22). Escher. Backside set.
Now with all
4 hits, not able to clear the net.
with all the power that's been handed to Lara in terms of quarterbacking this offense, the one thing she would rule as a successful game for this team, win or lose, is the ability to keep the pride alive. She told me that all she wants to see is this team feel pride and maintain it, no matter what happens out there on the court. Just kind of points to show that there's a bigger story for this wrestler squad than what you're seeing in the wins-losses column.
Absolutely. Laura again from the line. Middle to Dunmore. And that worked for a point.
Now, fun fact about these wrestlers' huddles. What you may not be seeing from the broadcast, whenever Megan Brazelton is in there, number 4, her good luck thing is to step on every girl's foot. Do a little toe tap. Nice block.
Asher runs it down. Set to Hennessy.
Some of the power you want to see.
Perimeter look for Elias Romero. Double contact. Match point for the Tigers. Outside of Botana. And there is a kill for Abigail Botana. 24-16. Serves to... They go outside to Hennessy. One hand up, beautifully done.
The Tigers will
Elias
not.
Romero on 3, and then she will pop it up. Will
Nice
attack.
up by Lozama. Hennessy.
Sneaking it down the line. Was it out? After both refs looked at each other, they made the call and said, yeah, it is out. Well, Riverside winning in 3 sets, but don't go anywhere. We are going to be interviewing with a couple players, get a coach interview in just a moment. So stay put with us on this broadcast as the Rustlers fall in 3 sets to Riverside.
Hennessy, after a sweep by Riverside, what did you see out there? What did this team need to communicate on moving forward?
I think just talking a lot more helps, and just like being close as a team and not getting mad at each other. And yeah, our team's really good at that, but tonight it was just a little bit harder, but we'll get them next time.
You have some players stepping up and filling positions that they're not used to playing.
Yeah.
Mia Lara, talk about her performance as a setter.
She's crazy good. I mean, she was a libero, and then coming in having to play a new position that she's never played before. Like she's killing it. She's always asking us like, what can I do different? Like, what do you need help with? And it's so good to have her do that and not just be like, oh, whatever. And she's awesome.
When Riverside is able to go on those runs and pull away and you guys meet in timeout huddles, what's the message from Coach Lawler to you?
Definitely just keep the ball in. That's like his motto, just keep the ball in, let them make the mistakes, and let us just put the ball away.
And talking to players like Mia and Maddie pregame, they said that this would be a success tonight, no matter what the result, was that if you guys could keep the energy alive, control what you can control, and keep the pride. What would you evaluate your team's performance as after that?
I think we definitely did that, especially Mia and Maddie are definitely always like on it with like pumping each other up, and Nicole too. Nicole's really good at that. And yeah, it's just keeping together, and yeah.
You seem so positive right now. What was your mentality out there?
Honestly, just like you said, to be positive, and if we don't get the point, who cares? We get the point, celebrate, because every point matters. And honestly, win or lose, you win some, you lose some. That's what my dad always tells me. And so, but just stay positive.
You go back to practice tomorrow. What's the first thing this team's working on?
Working on getting the balls up in the air nice and high, so Mia, who's not normally our setter, can get them easily, and just keep working hard.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Holly. Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Do you want to just wrap it up?
Yeah, perfect. Oh, we're still rolling? Okay. Well, you're joining us here at Golden West College, and just, a tough loss all in all for the wrestlers, but this team seems like it's equipped to handle the bumps and bruises along the way.
Well, they have a coach who has had a lot of experience winning, and I know it's not what head coach Bill Lawler wanted to see. It's a team that drops to 4-12 on the year, but you can't be too hard on yourself because of just how shorthanded you are with all the injuries, and you lose your setter, Sophia Peterson.
Yes.
She's not able to play, and then it's sort of setter by committee. And
Yep.
It's that position where you really don't want to have multiple players necessarily doing that because you want to develop that continuity.
And that's one thing that really struck me in just speaking with Holly. And granted, her teammates did identify her as a source of energy and kind of happiness for this team, but she, looking at her in the eyes and talking to her about this game, she was optimistic, and the squad knows the hand they've been dealt, and they're ready to grow each and every game. So you heard her talking that the keys they're going to be working on after this this loss is coming back into the gym tomorrow and getting better with their passes, with their talking.
One thing they do have, and you pointed this out, Nikki, is they're deceptively good from the service line.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of teams realize that, or maybe we give them enough credit for that, but they do
That's
have
a very
that
fair point.
capability.
Absolutely. So Coach Lawler, he talks about this team being able to control what it can, and the three things he wants to see his team attack each game with: service receive, the passing, and just basically minimizing errors. So that's what the wrestlers can really move forward with as they approach the rest of the season.
Nikki, it has been an absolute pleasure. There is only one home game left for the wrestlers.
One home game? No.
They're going to be on the road
Yeah.
for a few, but they will be back here November 14th. That's a Wednesday, and that will be here on digital media for Golden West.
And remember, please like, comment, share, subscribe on this YouTube channel. We want to keep this amazing broadcast alive and thriving, and that begins with what you can do for us. Share, spread the news, and keep this channel thriving.
Yeah, for all of us helping out with the broadcast, Warren Carter and his great crew behind the scenes. alongside Nikki K. I am Brian Fenley. Golden West unable to do it tonight. They lose in 3 sets to Riverside, but there are a couple more road games, and then we'll be back home on the 14th. We hope to see you then.